All right, guys, you remember when I made that video a little while ago where I basically stated that no matter what happens to the current iteration of the Charger and Challenger, the Hellcat engine is going nowhere. The Hellcat and the Scat Pack engine, as we know it, is going nowhere because people are going to consistently take those engines out of the old Charger and Challenger bodies and drop them into basically whatever body they choose. We've seen Hellcat powered Nissan 350Zs. We've seen Hellcat powered BMWs. We've seen Hellcat powered Chrysler 300s, SRT8 Chargers. They take those engines and pretty much drop them anywhere. What we haven't seen, however, is a Hellcat-powered Chrysler Town & Country minivan. But you're about to see it right now. Your boy Rich Rebuilds, huge YouTube channel, took it to a whole nother level. And the way that he did it was by far the most unique way that I've seen done. Let's get into it. What's up, guys? It's your boy Knockout 360 here with another video, man. As you can tell, I'm in a house that makes us a house vlog. You know what's going down. I'm come around. Let's get into it. Car content, car shows, car reviews, car meets, anything and everything car related happens on this channel. So if you're into that, make sure that you stick around. For everyone else, hit that subscribe button as well as that notification bell so that you know what's coming out and when it's coming out. So let's go ahead and get into it. I'm just going to show you clips of it. I'm not going to show you the whole video. I want you to go to his channel, watch the whole thing. The link will be in the description. Make sure you check it out. Clean, mean Hellcat Charger, green machine. Looks good, sounds good. They're gonna jack it up. Yeah. Damn. Then they're gonna start ripping into it, yanking everything out. What's up? Tearing the body down. Yeah. Pretty much tearing apart everything except for the chassis and, of course, the motor and the interior. Still functions and everything. Still very much so a Hellcat Charger.
Airbags.
There's the Town & Country. Got the Town & Country. Started ripping that apart too. Yeah.
Oh, the antenna.
Yeah. Yanking everything out.
Aimlessly taking things apart.
Getting rid of that whole chassis. Lifting up the body of it. Essentially what they're going to do is take the Hellcat Charger chassis, transmission, engine, all that stuff, interior. They're going to take that and retrofit it under the Chrysler Town & Country body. So instead of just taking the engine like they normally do, take the engine and transmission and drop it into Town & Country and, you know, kind of manipulate it or fabricate it to fit the engine, they're just going to take the whole damn body of the Town & Country and just drop it on top of the chassis of the Charger.
I love how
there's the Charger, or what was the Charger. And then boom, the moment of truth. They're literally just going to drop that thing right on top of that Charger.
I gotta record.
Which is by far the most unique way that I've seen of swapping a Hellcat into a different body. Because like I said, in the past, we would just see them take the engine out along with the transmission, necessary components with the transmission, and then drop it into whatever body they want and just make it work from there. But here, they actually took the chassis of the Charger, left it alone, wheels and everything included and attached, and just fabricated the body on top of that.
This is insane. Body wheels.
So I don't want to show the whole video or nothing, man. Shout out to this guy, man. Rich Rebuilds, man. Huge, huge, huge channel. Check that video out. I want you guys to go and follow him. I'm not going to record the whole thing, obviously. You know, all credit to him and his channel. Link and everything will be in the description. But that just goes to further my point, right? This engine is going nowhere anytime soon. You may not see the Charger. You may not see the Challenger as we know it now. You may not see any more Scats and Cats. But the engine will live on. People are going to take these engines from these cars, right, and drop them into any body that they so choose. Like what I've seen a lot of people do, man, is when people wreck these cars, the first thing they do is they say, what does the engine look like? What does the chassis look like? What does the frame look like? What does the transmission look like? The wheels and everything. Is everything still intact? I'm not worried about the interior. I can get another interior. I can get another Uconnect screen. I'm not worried about that. What does the engine look like? Is the engine okay? And oftentimes the engine is fine, you know, unless it's a completely, you know, destructive accident in such a way that, the car catches on fire or something like that. But if it's one of those things where it's being frame damage and it just considered total, the insurance company considers it total, people will go and get those engines and drop them into whatever body they choose. These cars are far from dead. You know what I mean? The Hellcat engine, the Scat Pack engine is far from dead. People love to do it with the 392. We've seen 392s in old Charger and Challenger body styles. We've seen 392s in all sorts of different body styles. You know, um, even before Chrysler dropped the 300 Scat Pack or the 300 392. What do they call it? It's just the 300, right? The 300C, I think that's what it is, with the 392 engine in it. But before that came out, I saw all kinds of 300s that have the 392 engine in it. So I'm saying all that to say these engines are not going anywhere. And the fact that that you see it here in the flesh on YouTube, that somebody's taking a Chrysler Town and Country van and dropping a 700 plus horsepower Hellcat engine in it, or rather taking the van and dropping it onto a 700 plus powered engine, lets you know that you can do so much with these engines. These cars are going nowhere soon, or at least the engines are going nowhere soon, because they're going to be swapped in and out of everything. Not to mention, to my understanding, and I could be wrong, they've made plans with the 2024s and 2025 Chargers that allow you to retrofit that Hellcat engine or motor into that body. Somehow or another, the engineers at Dodge felt that, they should make it in such a way that, it's still possible to drop those engines or those transmissions along with the engine into the body of a Charger. Now, somebody else said that that's not true, but from what I read, they're saying that that is a possibility, that you can take out that battery component, right, of the electric Charger, the EV, and drop a Hellcat engine or a Scat Pack engine into it. I could be wrong because obviously I don't have a 2024 Charger. I have a 23. It's an old one. You know what I mean? So, I mean, they're saying that it's possible to do that because these engines are going to stand the test of time. Like, these engines are just kind of marvels. Like, they're beautifully built monsters, produce a lot of power. Obviously, they would produce much more power in the Charger and the Challenger if they wasn't so heavy, right? At 4,500 pounds, you're pulling a 4,500 pound car, right? So it doesn't matter what kind of engine you got, it's still a heavy ass car. But if you're able to drop that into like what we've seen in the past, the Nissan Z, even this minivan, the shell of a minivan, being able to put that engine in there. Now, granted, it's still very much so a Charger chassis and everything, but I'm pretty sure that the way that he set it up, he's not going to have the leather, all of the stuff that goes into a Charger. Like, he's going to, do as much weight reduction as possible in this minivan. You know what I'm saying? And I put a post up where I basically said, don't get caught lacking. Not every town and country is a town and country. Some of them have Hellcat engines at this point. But, ultimately, this engine's not going anywhere, man. They're going to be dropping these engines in and out of bodies for the next probably 2 or 3 years until Dodge or Chevy or Ford comes out with an engine transplant that you can just pull in and out, Very rarely do you see them dropping Predator engines in any other body. Very rarely do you see them doing LS swaps in cars that are not Chevy based. I've seen a lot of LS swaps in other, Chevys, right? LS swapped Corvettes, Camaros, maybe even Chevy Silverados, trucks and shit like that. But very rarely do you see them taking an LS engine and dropping it into a Nissan or a Toyota or a Honda. You know what I'm saying? Tesla. I think I've even seen the Tesla Hellcat, a Hellcat powered Tesla. So these engines are not going anywhere, even though the body may be, but the engine is not. And if you know somebody that can do this type of work, you get your hands on a Chrysler 300. Like, look, listen, I know a guy that did that. He's got a Chrysler 300 and he's got a Hellcat engine. And the smart thing about that, I don't know if you would call it smart, but I think it's smart. I don't know how you feel about it, is that he pays $50 a month for car insurance because the car insurance company is looking at the Chrysler as nothing more than a Chrysler C, which is what, the 5.7 liter Chrysler? Not to mention it's a 2017, 2016 body. So it's an old car, used car, and it's got that small 5.7 liter Hemi in it. So the insurance company looks at it as nothing more than a 2016 Chrysler C. Little do they know, he's got a 700 horsepower engine under the hood of that car. So where other people like myself are paying, what am I paying? Almost $100 for my Hellcat in car insurance. I've never been in an accident. That's why my car insurance is so low. But where people like myself are paying 100 plus or almost 100, he's paying $50 because the Chrysler, the insurance company sees it as nothing more than a Chrysler C, whereas a Hellcat Chrysler. And then he's got the wide body kit. He's got everything. He's got the whole interior with the SRT pages and the Uconnect screen. So I'm saying that to say, if you can get your hands on a Hellcat engine, legally, a Hellcat engine, legally attain a Hellcat engine, and you drop that into a 300 or SRT8 or a Chrysler Town and Country minivan, that's pretty smart, because a lot of people are getting away paying nickels and dimes for Hellcat swapped engines. Whatever you pay to get the engine itself, hopefully you pay something and it's legal. You know, you got to factor that in. But once you drop that in the body, your insurance company sees nothing more than a Chrysler 300 or a Town and Country minivan. Can you imagine what he's paying for car insurance for this Town and Country minivan? Probably 30, 40 bucks, if that. Little do they know, it's got a Hellcat engine under the hood of it. So it's it's pretty smart to go that route. Like, I'm not even capping. Like, it's pretty smart if you can do it the right way and do it effectively and efficiently, so that the car doesn't, you know, break or anything like that, or have any issues. If everything's done correctly, it's pretty smart, man. Swapping is a pretty smart idea. You know what I'm saying? And obviously now you see that you can swap a Hellcat into anything. Now, the way they did it was different. You know, what I've seen in the past is literally people just taking the engine out and the transmission and all the components of it and fitting it into the body of a 300 or into the body of a Nissan. I think that's how they did the Nissan. I can't remember. But in this case, they literally took the chassis of a Hellcat Charger and they took the shell of a Chrysler Town and Country and just took the shell and put it on top of the Hellcat Charger. So technically it's a Hellcat Charger, but it's, you know, from the outside looking in, it's very much so a Town and Country. You know what I mean? So there's ways of swapping these cars and making them Hellcat powered. You can just take the engine and the transmission, or you can, you know, bust it down and take the whole shell and put it on top of a chassis of another car. So these engines are going nowhere is what I'm saying. That's the whole crux of this video, man. It's like, no matter what happens to the Charger and Challenger, there's always going to be Hellcat and Scat Pack engines out there, especially when people are wrecking these cars every single day. You find a Hellcat Charger or a Scat Pack at a salvage lot, look under the hood. If that engine's good, you got yourself a Hellcat. Have fun with it. You know what I mean? As always, like, subscribe, comment, man. Go to Rich Rebuilds. I'll put the link in the description, man. Go and watch the full video. Give all credit to him and all the hard work that they've done on that build, because that's sick. You know what I mean? That's one of one. I've never seen something like that. Can you imagine pulling up next to a Town and Country, thinking that it's nothing more than a Town and Country minivan? Little do you know that motherfucker got a Hellcat engine under the hood of it. And this could have been a red eye. I don't know if this was a red eye or not, but Hellcat engine, period. And that thing just take off on you. And now you just got your ass whooped by a minivan. I'm telling you, man, it's crazy times we live in, man. Like, subscribe, comment. Go over there, like, subscribe, and comment. It's been your boy Knockout 360. I'll see you in the next one, man. Peace.